back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, there you have it. OKC comes into New York and destroys the Knicks. No, destroys them. Oh boy, the Knicks, they're not going nowhere, folks. They're not going nowhere to no championship game, to the NBA Finals. They're a joke. Karl Anthony Towns plays no defense. And then you have Brunson. I'm not going to say he's too little to play defense, but, he saves a lot of his energy for offense. I just don't know about this Brunson guy. You put Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns on the same team, and people thought it was really going to, it's not been bad, but I just don't see them being able to get to the finals. Sometimes if you have two number ones, it's not going to work out in the long run. It just doesn't. As LeBron James, he played on teams. It was three number ones on one damn team. And yes, they won a championship, but they lost way more than they actually won. So, I don't know. Can we just get back to the era where you got like one number one on a damn team? And then maybe you could have two number ones if you get old. Like the 97, 98 Rockets or something like that, man. But can we get back to the days where you got only one number one on a damn team? And this is what I'm saying. This is why these guys today, they don't deserve this kind of money. They don't. Look at the Suns. They got three number ones on one team. What is that? Three number ones on one team. What is that? Wow. You would think if you had three number ones on one team that these guys will be in the finals every year. Well, they've been together, I think last year was their first year, but still, you would think they would have had the number one seed this year. And then they went and got Bill last year, and he was coming off of injuries, and he couldn't even play until, what was it, a quarter through the season or some nonsense like that. You're gonna get this guy, and he's trash. His body is trash, and that's what we've been talking about several channels, about how these guys do not have the stamina to play these games. They're not in shape. Folks, when you go back and watch, especially 80s and 90s basketball, we're not trying to say the players have to be bodybuilders. But go look at how big these guys are compared to the guys today. Either size-wise, just bulky, or muscle-wise. Right? So that's what we had a mix of in the 80s and 90s, especially in the 90s. Guys who had size and muscle. Right? When I say size, I'm talking about just overall size. Right? And then you had guys with muscle. Remember, muscle wasn't always just about, the big man being a big man, or, it being tough in the paint, or, a tough NBA. These guys actually wanted to look good. They actually wanted to show off their muscles on the court, right? That's just how it was back in the day, folks. That's just how it was. Guys like to look muscular, right? Not only because it's a physical game, and it's going to help you be in more shape in a bump and grind game, or just running the court, period. But also, they just like to look good. Maybe for the women. Maybe just, look at these guys today, folks. I got to do a piece on this. There's WNBA players the size of these guys. Look at Devin Booker. Look at these guys. It's pitiful. They look like our high school kids, our high school basketball players in the 80s and 90s. I'm not lying, folks. These guys don't have a cut on their arms. Karl Anthony Towns is fat. Luka Doncic is fat. Joker is fat. Joel Embiid is fat. Anthony Davis is out of shape. Devin Booker isn't built like a man. And we can go on and on. These guys have no... Go watch Scottie Pippen in the 90s. And we always know Scottie Pippen for being skinny. Skinny Scottie Pippen. But look at Scottie Pippen compared to these guys today who are the same size. 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", 6'8". These guys are frail. SGA? What? I mean, do these guys, it's almost like, do these guys not like food? Do these guys not like weights? And I'm going to hear people, oh, man, if they got big, man, and guess what, man? They won't be able to run up and down the court like they do. It's not the same bump and grind game. But I'm not trying to tell you to get big as Karl Malone. That's not what I'm pointing to. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is these guys' bodies are breaking down because they have no muscle. It don't even look like these guys have developed muscle. It don't even look like they have developed muscle. It's crazy. So that going to the weight room is what will make your body stronger. We're not trying to say you got to get Karl Malone arms or anything like that, but just to be in that type of physical shape of, you know, lifting weights and get you some cuts on your body and your legs, your calves, your everything, your arms. Look at little Tim Hardaway, man. This dude was built like a tank back in the day. Mark Jackson, man, dudes would be laughing at you if you didn't get in the weight room back then. So that's what I'm just saying. These guys are breaking down because they're not physically, they're not ready for this type of basketball that they play today. This run and gun. It's it's not good for their body. They're so dinky. When they showed me, what was his name, Darius Garland, I'm like, dude, this dude is dinky. Why don't these guys want to look like men? They just want to look like skinny basketball players? Oh man, they just, I hate to beat up on this era. And look, to me, I think every era should be its own era. We shouldn't be crapping on any era. But this whole era crapping on eras came from Nick Wright, right? When LeBron James lost his 6 finals in 2018, they had nowhere else to go. This guy was 3-6. He had just called himself the GOAT after 2016 and got blown away in 2 straight finals after that. And then blamed it on the fact that Kevin Durant built a super team after this guy built 2 super teams. So it was a weak move. The weakest move by, you know, we put that video out, by Stephen A. Smith, where he says, not building 2 super teams in destroying the power in the East, right? That wasn't the weakest move of all time. The weakest move of all time was what? Oh, what Kevin Durant did. Not LeBron James building 2 super teams first. See how stupid that is? But he gets blown out in 2 straight finals. They were left with nothing, and they didn't have nowhere to go. So from then on, their GOAT debate was Michael Jordan played against plumbers in the weakest era of all time. Track it back. This is what was going on. Because they were done. They couldn't say nothing else. So they were like, yeah, LeBron is 3-6, but look at his competition. What do you mean it's competition? Let me tell you something. The teams that Michael Jordan played in the finals, no LeBron James team is beating those teams. None of them. None of those teams. And Michael Jordan ain't losing to none of those teams that LeBron lost to. It ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen, folks. Say what you will, it's not, especially those old ass Spurs teams. It don't matter. They were old. Just because they were older in 14, that don't mean they weren't old in 13. They were just as old. So, we'll be back. They were just as old. Really? Tony Parker in Ginobili. That's your guys that Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen is going to lose to? And maybe Horace Grant and whatever team you want to put them up against, the Rodman Bulls or the Grant Bulls. Really? No, folks. Duncan might get his, just like the other guys got theirs when the Bulls played them, from Karl Malone to Charles Barkley to who I say, Clyde Drexler, Magic Johnson. But hell no, they ain't about to lose to no Tim Duncan Spurs. It ain't gonna happen, folks. It ain't gonna happen. It just ain't going to happen. And who else he lose? The Dallas Mavericks? Are you kidding me? No, it ain't gonna happen, folks. That's not gonna happen. Who else he lose to? Oh, the Kevin Durant sons. I mean, what about their 15 Warriors? Hell no, ain't losing to them. Now people gonna say, oh, well, Kyrie got hurt, blah, blah, blah. He still ain't losing to them. Whatever. And that guy took a 2-1 lead going back home. You think if Michael Jordan take a 2-1 lead going back home in 2015, you think he really gonna lose all those games? Hell no. This is the difference. LeBron James can't raise his level of play. That's the problem with this guy. When you go back and look at Michael Jordan's NBA Finals, all of them are historic in some type of way. Whether it was 91, you know what he did in that one. He played the Magic Johnson role, and then they ended up winning 4-1. They can't shoot the three. 92, you know what he did in that. That was 92, yeah. 93, he had to score 41 points per game just to win that series. That's how even the Suns were with the Bulls, right? And the Suns had the better offensive team. Let's don't forget that. 96, Mike had to play. He didn't have a good series because he played a great defensive team. Now that was the best defensive team they played. He didn't have a good series. He didn't have a LeBron James series, no. But he didn't have a good series, but he was still able to do other things like rebound, play defense, and shut guys down. You know what happened in 97, the flu game. 98, you know what happened there. He was pretty much playing on fumes by himself. Nobody was doing nothing. So just about all of his NBA finals are legendary, right? And what I'm trying to say by that is Michael Jordan is going to put up legendary performances to beat LeBron James' opponents that he couldn't beat, folks. You can't tell me one legendary performance that LeBron James put up where he won or he lost. Don't tell me he put up some stats. We're talking about legendary. We ain't talking about a good series. Man, that man put up a triple-double on the loss. You put up a triple-double. What? Fool, please. We all know if it's one thing that LeBron James does, stop his teammates from actually doing their jobs. I need the most rebounds on the team, and I need the most assists. We know that. So whether we win or we lose, I did my job. He need the most points, right? Sometimes he won't have the most rebounds, but he's got to get his 7 rebounds or more. They won't be like, rebounds where it made a difference down the stretch or something like that, or on the offensive side where he was putting points back after his guys, missed or he missed or not like that. No, sir. It ain't none of that. It's just a whole bunch of stat padding, especially in quarters 1 through 3, because we already know what he does in the 4 quarters. He is not historic. And that's why we say, where are the historic games? This guy has literally, he was able to, I'll bring you that video, just about all his finals. This guy disappears in all the 4th quarters, folks. And this is where you make your name. This is where you make your name. By closing. Being in the 4th quarter and closing. LeBron James ain't nowhere to be found in the 4th quarter. I mean, yeah, if you're blowing the team out, yeah, of course, you're not going to be doing nothing historic in the 4th quarter or nothing like that. But check out all his finals. All the ones that he won 2. I think 2 of them went to game 7. The other 2 went to one went to game 6, and the other one went, was it 4-1? I think he beat the OKC 4-1. But even like Gilbert Arenas said, they gave that finals to him. Wow. How about that? Never heard nothing like that. The NBA gave that finals to him. Wow. And that's the thing about Gilbert Arenas. And this is the thing about this world that I keep trying to tell you guys about. You can't make money. They'll tell you on the news that, it's all about working together, being kind, and, they teach this stuff in school and, churches too, and religion too, be kind, work together, love one another, and all this stuff. And, the world is basically about money. That's why they say they put God on the money, right? And then they put, the one-eye symbol, right? So their God, the government, is, you should know who that is, right? I shouldn't have to explain that to you. If you don't know, you better go find out. But it's not the God that they teach in these religious books, right? The God that the government worships, that's on that money. So the God is the money. And what controls the world is lies. That's how people are controlled. That's how everything is controlled, through lies. It don't matter in how you do it. It could be through religion. It could be through government. It could be through history. It could be through everything. Health, science, everything is a lie. It's basically a lie to control the people, right? And the money controls the people too. But first you have to control the people with lies. They get them to be controlled with money. But that's why they ask for money up in these religious places you go to. Because they're there for the money, right? Which controls the people. And what controls the people first is lies. So when we talk about Gilbert Arenas, this dude do anything to make money. And when he was going against Scap Attack in one of them debates, and he even admitted he lies. He lies just to boost himself up. And basically, but he's saying he's lying, in other words, to make money. He's lying to make money. Why? Because there's no money in the truth, right? So when I'm talking about my channel isn't monetized, is because YouTube don't want nobody to hear the truth about certain things that I say. Now, if you can go with the get along gang, Gilbert Arenas and even Kwame Brown. Yeah, he always like to say the get along gang. They're all in it together, right? They're brothers. They promote each other. They're not against each other. And as long as you go with the get along gang, and this is like religion or race. If you take one side of the race, the black and white thing, which is the fakest thing you ever heard in your life, because nobody's a color black or white, it's a status. But if you promote racism as something real, and you guys gonna say, oh man, what do you mean it's not real? All these things happen. People are racist. I'm not trying to say that racism doesn't happen. What I'm trying to say is racism and all this stuff has been brought to you by who? The governments, right? And they get their informants to push it. That's it. Whether you're black leaders, your Martin Luther Kings, your Malcolm X's, all these people were informants of the government. Go do the background. They're informants. KKK, all this stuff. Nobody knew about no black and white, no colorism, none of that stuff until we start getting into the late 1800s. Nobody called themselves by any color. You either came from a tribe or you came from a family crest. That's it, folks. Nobody called themselves black or white before that. Nobody called themselves a nation like Puerto Rico or Canadian or American before that. There was no such thing. So if you say what you were, I'm from the Zulu tribe. I'm from the Chickasaw tribe. I'm from the Blackfoot tribe. I'm from the Smith family. I'm from the Davis family. I'm from the Reyes family. I'm from the Cornell family. That's all people knew. Colorism and all this stuff basically started after what we call Jim Crow. I'll say a little bit before, but when people start embracing this nonsense, when these black leaders was pushing this stuff on so-called people of color, right? And it wasn't just in the United States, it started going everywhere, you know what I'm saying, in Americas and stuff like that. And people start getting out of their tribal lineages of what they were and out of their family crest, right? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, but what I'm trying to say about all that is all these people out here, they about money, man. They ain't about no truth. 99% of these people on YouTube ain't about no truth. They about money. That's it. Once you start to learn over the years and you start to see these people on YouTube, not just the sports community, all these people, they just about money, man. Getting this money off of deception. I ain't talking about get money off of telling the truth, which is great. Trust me, since when I entered YouTube in early 2000s and people was putting good information out there about the world, about life, everything, that's no longer on there. You can't find that no more. That's over. All you can find now is deception based on money. That's it. You can't find no truth on here. It's rare that you can find truth on YouTube. And if you can, good luck. They ain't gonna monetize your channel because they don't want to get out there. Listen, the channels who are monetized, they want those people out there because those people sell their products or their advertisement. The people who's telling the truth or tell truth, they ain't gonna put them out there. Actually, they won't even like put their videos out there to their own subscribers, folks. They won't do that. If you ever hear people talking the same stuff, that means it's a lie. You can't be unique and different and always be talking the same ish that everybody else is talking about. If that was the truth and everything was like that, why is everything still getting worse? How come things ain't got no better? Because the stuff that they follow and tell you is a part of the government's curriculum, regimen, and part of the deception. That's all it is. All the people that I follow for truth, they ain't on YouTube. They can't be on YouTube. You ain't gonna make no money on YouTube if you tell the truth. All the channels that I knew back in the day that was on YouTube that was telling truth, they ain't on there no more, folks. And guess what? It ain't only that. People ain't into the truth. They ain't into it because that makes them feel weird. That makes them feel. We told you about that before. We said, man, the truth is ugly. You get it away from me. It don't feel good. A lie? A lie? Oh boy, that feels good. Give me some more. I like that. That's all it's about, folks. And if you want to live the truth, these people out here will shun you. But then you ask them, if you live in the truth of what you've been told, and all y'all live in the truth, how come things ain't getting better? How come the ish ain't worked out? They can't tell you that, folks. All they're going to tell you is, we just got to keep striving. We just got to keep working. You've been working at the same nonsense forever because it's a lie. It's a lie. The education, the food, the history, the health, everything. It's just a lie. And that's what makes people keep living this lie, because of fear. Because to change the law, guess what? You're going to have to work even harder than what you're working. And to change the law, guess what? You're going to have to do some crazy shit that is going to be even worse than what you're facing now. See, because the law can make you just, you could just be facing a whole bunch of messed up stuff in life and going through a whole bunch of messed up stuff, and you could just deal with that. You could just say, oh man, things happen. But to live in the truth, it's a lot you're going to have to change. You're going to have to go through a lot to change that, right? Check it out. Say for instance, right, the way people eat, right, and are sick, and they don't feel good, they're unhealthy, they have these diseases and stuff like that. Why they don't change? Because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. You're going to get even more sick. You're going to get more stressed. You're going to feel even worse trying to change. And the people that have, they know. And guess what? You look at all the people around you, they ain't trying to change, right? It's almost like, okay, I'm gonna stop drinking. But the people you hang around with, these people drink. Maybe they drink all the time. So you got to get from around them people, because they don't see nothing wrong with them drinking all the time or smoking all the time. It's the same thing with, changing your diet. You look around, just about everybody's fat, eating McDonald's, Burger King. You go to work, these people eating out every single day. You're like, damn. You come home, maybe your family, they want to eat all this bad stuff. And, even though you try to change, it's hard. And then again, like I said, you're probably going to get sick when you do try to change. That's it. I mean, I've been through that. It don't feel good. So I'm just using that on a bigger basis. Now they came out with something the other day that they have been putting metals, lead, and all kind of metals in tampons. They did a study on this, and this has been going on for decades. This is a sick world you live in, folks. Lead and heavy metals and other different metals in women's tampons. And they talking about they need to do some more studies before they take it off the show. This is the sick world you live in, folks. Putting heavy metals in vaccines. And you can try to dispute that all you want. That's a fact, folks. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm just trying to tell you that the sick world you live in is about money. It's not about love. It's not about health. It's not about caring. It's about money first. That's it. And people on YouTube, people in the real world, people will smile dead in your damn face and call you fam, friend, all this stuff for that money, and don't give a damn about you. They don't. And I'm not trying to say there's not caring people, there's not good people in this world. I'm not trying to say that. That might be your everyday average person, but I'm just trying to tell you how the world really works with the people up there who is all about money. And I'm not talking about just the government, no, or you know, the people up top. No, there's other people who ain't up top who only give a damn about money, and they'll do anything for this money. They will. Again, you have NBA players who supposedly made all this tens of millions of dollars in their career, hundreds of millions, and they're up on YouTube lying, literally lying to make money. See, YouTube won't sanction or won't ban nobody for lying. They won't do that. They ain't got no smoke for that, folks. But they will sit up there and they will even make sure your videos don't get out to your own subs. That's how crazy it is. And since I've been talking about YouTube for a hot minute, in my videos, my views have been going down. And that's fine. Look, if one person sees my video that's a sub of mine, that's great. Because I don't want my videos going out to a whole bunch of people that don't agree with me, don't like me, or anything like that. That's why you can look on my comments. I don't have a lot of hate. Well, what I'm trying to tell you is that YouTube will stop your video from getting out if you're telling anything about the truth. Now, if you're saying that when we speak about the truth, listen to what I'm saying. And then what I've been saying, or I say in other videos, versus other people's truth and what they're saying, right? Their so-called truth about the world, about anything, or about NBA. Look at what they're saying. They're not saying nothing no different than anybody else. Remember, for YouTube, the truth has to be in line with the other guy's truth, right? So when I say these NBA players aren't making this kind of money because they have to go work after supposedly making tens of millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars in their career, nobody on YouTube wouldn't say that because they're scared to be unmonetized. Because that's a pyramid scheme right there. Or I say the players aren't playing, the organizations are stealing from their fan base. When I say, let's say these dudes do make this kind of money, right? When these players aren't playing, aren't giving effort, aren't doing this, aren't doing that, especially not playing, they're stealing from the fan base. They're literally stealing. The organization, and our organization isn't out in front in meetings or, you know, on a microphone or conferences, anything like that, and pressers. The owners aren't saying nothing. The GMs, this is crazy. We're paying these guys all this money and they're not coming to work. We're paying these guys, all the fans, money because you're not paying these guys this money. The fans are. So when I hear people say, oh, they're stealing from the organization, no, they're not. They're stealing from the fans. But nobody wants to say that because it doesn't sound good. Because why it don't sound good? Because it's reality. They're stealing from them. They're literally it don't matter if they make this money that we've been told, or if they don't make it. Remember, if they don't make this kind of money we've been told, which I don't think so, you can't. I just don't see how they could. The least viewed NBA of all time in the 2020s. They really don't play no defense. They don't have any skill but shooting a three. So why would they make this money? So nobody's ever going to say that because it would the organizations would literally be stealing from the fans if they don't make this, if they found out they don't make this money. So let's go with what you feel like. They do make this money, but guess what? They're stealing from the fans. The organization is. Because these guys aren't showing up. I don't buy a season ticket or a ticket to see role players play. I want to see the stars. That's why they get paid the most money. So, let me get off of here, man. You guys already know I don't play with this nonsense that these YouTubers be up on here playing with. Just want to get along with what everybody else is saying. And remember, YouTube don't want to monetize me, so I'm gonna just tell the truth. And they start hitting me once I start exposing ESPN, right? For being owned, ESPN and Fox being owned by Disney, and that fake beef that they did between Skip and who was it, Shannon Sharp, and then the fake beef they did with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. They didn't like that. Why? Because ain't nobody else saying it, folks. They don't want you to know that was entertainment. They don't want you to know that they couldn't pay these guys no more. And they started fake beef, and they wanted, Max Kellerman to go replace Zubin because he wasn't carrying that morning show. They don't want you to know this stuff. Remember, their puppets have to come out and tell you this stuff first, right? But they're going to make more money off the lie on the entertainment value of, Stephen A. Smith beefing with Max Kellerman in, what's the name? Skip beefing with Shannon Sharp. They're gonna make more money on that value entertainment. So, tell me what you think.